Well, that scared the crap out of me. Holy crap, Ziggity Live with a near 500-person raid. Doing a shout out for that immediately. So hi, the incredibly ridiculously large group of raiders that just arrived. So first of all, how was your stream, Ziggy? I don't know what Vampire Survivors are, but it sounds like a fun game. Like, for anyone who hasn't seen Ziggity Live is a fantastic streamer who I have watched for years and years and years. Amazing content, does a variety of games. I primarily knew him through the Path of Exile scene, because that's what introduced me to the channel. We're going to have a bunch of stuff that's going to go bad. All of this food is about to go bad. You know what? Just the whole pork chop in our mouth. It's going to spoil. Who cares? But yeah. Okay. Nova Drift is good. I've done that on stream. I like Nova Drift. I need to play that. It's been a while. Nova Drift is excellent. For anyone who hasn't played Nova Drift, great music. It's like roguelite, but asteroids with way more monsters. Well, enemies, not really monsters. But yeah. Highly recommend Ziggy. Like, to give you the idea of the quality of his content is, if you know Grinding Gear Games, who does Path of Exile, they actually do their announcements of all of their leagues with Ziggy D, because he's just that big on it. Came back from, like, StarCraft days, all that good stuff. Highly recommend. But yeah, thank you. So, I'm Raul Storage. I play a variety of games. Right now, the game I've been playing the most is Project Zomboid. I'm known for doing absolutely ludicrous runs. Like right now, we are doing 16 times population, which is the absolute highest amount of zombies that Project Zomboid handles without mods. We have respawns turned off, and our goal is to wipe out the entire map. Oh, Nova Drift had an update in the last 24 hours. So chat, where I was talking about on Thursday, I didn't know what game we were going to play because, you know, as much as I enjoy Oxygen Not Included, the numbers were really not great, considering I was the #1 most viewed Oxygen Not Included stream both times I did it, and I had like 30 people at the highest. Nova Drift is a strong possibility. That would be one I'd have to open mic, though, so I'll have to see what my wife's up to not make a whole thing of that, because I don't want to make her not talk or whatever. That's the whole reason I don't do that. But yeah, no, I'm a fan of Nova Drift. It's cool. Like, but yeah, so I was not expecting a raid nearly that big. Anyways, what it was saying, so right now I'm playing 4 days a week of Project Zomboid, 2 days a week of RimWorld, and 1 day that I do quote-unquote other games, which is basically whatever game, you know, people are interested in watching me play. Oh, hi, zombies. And just so people know, if it seems like I have a hard time seeing the zombies during the night, that's because I actually have a filter on stream that makes it makes the stream itself about 15-20% brighter than it is for me. So I have a great deal of difficulty seeing stuff at night, because not seeing in the dark is a mechanic I believe belongs in this game. I like chat to be able to actually see what's happening, so you'll watch me walk up and get hugged by a zombie I didn't see and have a bad time. It has happened before. It's been a while, but it has happened before. Yep. But yeah, so right now what we're doing in game is, this is a pretty new run. I think this is our 3rd stream of this run so far. But we are trying to wipe out all the zombies on the absolute highest population possible. When I say all the zombies, I'm not going to go skulking through the woods looking for the very last zombie hiding in the trees in the middle of the forest across the map, because I'll never find it. But we are looking to wipe out all of the major cities. This is probably the 5th time I've attempted this. The last time we destroyed all of Ekron, we made real good progress on Riverside, and then I died dumbly, because that's how you usually die in this game. Oh yes, the numbers have exploded. So like when I started streaming Project Zomboid, it was averaging something like 500, 600, 700 concurrent people on Steam. And now, last I looked, it was like 60 or 70,000, 80,000 concurrent players. It had broken a couple times. So yeah, it's gotten big. And I get to be proudly saying that I was playing it well before all that. Before they had even said the multiplayer update would be, you know, quote-unquote soon TM. But yeah, so if you're a fan of chill vibes, Project Zomboid, RimWorld, and just generally that kind of stuff, as well as learning, I do have a thing where I often will tell people, like, well, not tell people, I will talk people through different things, like why I'm approaching different things, different ways, stuff I do to help with my survival in different games and all that. That's what we do. All right, Ziggy, you enjoy your dinner, and thank you so much for the absolutely ludicrously large raid. I had put that new rate alert to be like all grandiose when I have a huge raid, not expecting it to be blown up anytime soon, and then here you go, blowing it up right away. So awesome. I know it works now. And great, it's raining. Oh, and also for the record, I do have multiple helicopters turned on, so we are actually just about due for our next helicopter, and I'm not looking forward to it because it's going to set back our push into Ekron, but you know. That is what it is. With no respawn, every dead zombie is one less zombie in the world, so as long as we got food and water to our person, you know, who cares? But Ekron, if we're looking at the minimap, is right here is the first house, so that's what we're pushing for. But the reason I'm clearing out all these little loner zombies as they move around is when the helicopter comes, it's going to bunch them up into big groups, and that's much more of a pain to deal with. And then on top of that, it's the loner you forget about that sneaks up behind you and ruins your day. So I'd much rather engage them and kill them on my terms if I get the choice. Alright, for some reason we have mild panic with 2 zombies, despite the fact we killed almost 1,200 zombies, but you know, whatever. And I could track those down. Oh yeah, Zomboid's awesome. Like, it's been in development for 10 years, and I know I picked it up pretty early on, and played it a little. I didn't get into it too big. But it was sometime around July, which is about the same time I started streaming, that I started playing and just, you know, absolutely fell in love with the game. And then the multiplayer update has only done more. Like, nowadays, I do half my time multiplayer, half my time doing this kind of stuff. Roughly, not exactly. I probably spend a little bit more time not multiplayer. But this is a mostly vanilla run. The only mods that I have that affect gameplay would be Pillow's random spawn mod, which means I don't get to choose where I spawn. The game drops me somewhere and I just deal with it. Yep. I hear another one. Alright. Oh yeah, I absolutely love it. Like, that's some of my favorite games. It's been because of that. Because you think about games like Project Zomboid and how long they've been developing it. You think about games like Terraria, where, you know, you bought it when it first came out for like 15, 20 bucks. You know, here you are, they like developed it for something like 12 years. They kept adding content to it and didn't charge a dime more. Same with Project Zomboid. You know, RimWorld eventually charged for DLC, but I mean, the base game was none of those ones that you got it for like the 20, 15 bucks or 20, 25 bucks back in the day, and it just kept giving and giving and giving. Factorio is another one that, if you want to lose a lot of your life into a game, you know, hey, Factorio. So I don't want to fight this way. This is about as bad as you can get, where they have perfectly spread out. Oh, hi, friends. Perfectly spread out, because if I hit one, they're all going to close in, so I'm going to go to the side to get them to line up for me. And then I'm going to fight them. You want the zombies to properly queue. You don't want them to go side by side. It's Congo line or no fight. Oh yeah, and sometimes the sales that you get for Terraria are ridiculous. And even more so, like, you play the base game, and then you learn about their modding scene, And it is amazing. There's the Calamity mod is one I highly recommend. Some of the best music in gaming, in my opinion. I should be taking a beta blocker because Panic reduces your damage a lot, but I also don't want to. Because I don't have many beta blockers left and rather save them for like an actually big group. So I'm going to disable the walkie, or take apart the walkie-talkie for electrical skill. I only want the battery and the light bulb. The rest of it can go in the garbage. Now, normally, I would want to sit down and recover my stamina. Unfortunately, because it is raining and night, it's really hard for me to see. So I can't really tell when some things come from that. Oh, and for all the raiders, here's some settings you should change. This is like the third time I've gone over it on the stream, but I don't mind. If you're new to Project Zomboid, or you just not know about this, one of the first things you should do when you start playing the game, blood decals, switch it from what it is to none. Blood decals never go away. So if you're killing lots of zombies, each time you kill one, it leaves a little spot of blood on the ground. When you get enough of them, it will kill the performance of the game. So you get where that's going. The longer your playthrough, the more your performance is going to tank. So you can get rid of that, that'll fix that. ISO cursor visibility, I want to say it starts like 10-15%. Consider 50 or 75%, and I'll explain what that is in a moment. And then aim outline, I believe it starts at none. I highly recommend any weapon. So let me show you what that stuff is. So the ISO cursor, if you look below my mouse, you'll see that little circle with the line coming out of it. That's where I'm actually aiming. It's not my mouse, it's that little circle. So you really want to see that. So 10-15% visibility is kind of crap. You can have it where the mouse shows or not. It doesn't really matter. That's totally preference. I like it because it's easier to keep track of what's going on. Now, the aim outline, what that is when a zombie is in range, a green border will light up on whichever zombie I'm going to hit. So it kind of gives you two nice things for it. One, it lets you know when a zombie is actually in range, and two, it lets you know which zombie you're going to hit. And that's very helpful because there's times you don't want to swing if you're not hitting the zombie you think you are. And sometimes the decision process of what you hit wouldn't align with what you'd expect. For example, if I have a crawling zombie approaching me, and I have a zombie that is getting back up from being on the ground, I would want to hit the crawling zombie. It's an immediate threat. Now, Project Zomboid, on the other hand, says, no, you want to hit the zombie getting up. So, if I follow through with that swing, I'm going to hit the zombie that's getting up. The one crawling is going to grab me by the leg and potentially hurt me. So it's really good to have that outline where you see the outline and go, nope, that's not the one I want, and you just back off real fast. Another pro tip is slow down. There's no rush. There's only a few times you got to rush around in the game, and usually when you do, it's because everything else has already gone sideways. It's very rare you need to run. So just take your time, walk around. No one's in a hurry. About the only times you'll see me running is when I'm very specifically going, okay, I need to work on leveling up my running. Just for those rare cases, I do need it. Just so you know, I don't burn us down real fast. And then I'll also run, like, if I have a bunch of hordes, like the helicopter event, you'll see me run, where if I have like a horde here and a horde here, and they're closing together and I need to get past them, I will run just enough to get past them, and then I will back up. Alright, they're moving. I don't think they've aggroed me yet. Let's wait till they settle down. Okay. Because I'll also show you another trick, if we can get one or two to aggro me real fast. Okay, we got, looks like maybe 4. Yeah, 4. Which is that a zombie that is knocked down, if either you or another zombie is standing on top of it and it's not a crawler, remains pinned and is effectively out of the fight. Oh, I'm actually out of hunting knives. I don't like that at all. And you're probably wondering why I switched to a hand fork as opposed to my crowbar or my nightstick and my other good weapons. It's because the hand fork is a short blade. Actually, it didn't matter. I don't want to be at heavy load, but it's switching because short blades use way less stamina. That said, I had waited too long to switch. Okay, so demo on this one. So, if I push them, and I stand on him, this zombie is out of the fight. So I can go, oh, I'm a little hungry? Sure. Let me just enjoy a bit of salad. Yeah, I noticed that. You know what? Let's finish that salad. Why not? And thank you for the follow, Rainbow Octavian. Welcome to the stream. Oh, and I don't have any salad. That's fine. We'll just make ourselves a little bit more salad. Don't mind the zombie. It's fine. But you get the idea. Zombie can't hurt me as long as I'm standing on it. I'm going to kill it because it's loud and annoying, and I don't like it. But yeah, so pushing over zombies, like either you push them over, or if you just knock them over because of the weapon you're using, it's really good to just be able to stand on them. That said, only do that when it's safe to stand on them. Otherwise, if you knock them over, it's still good, because if the zombies are Congo lining, they'll all take turns Congo lining across their friend and keeping them out of the fight. Alright, we're just doing that to recover some stamina. We're going to keep pushing. Read Herbalist was on the to-do list because just Herbalist is a very fantastic book, and we have read, so it's under the done section. That was just because it was on our to-do list. Thank you for the well wishes, Rainbow Octavian, and I do hope you have a good night as well and you sleep well. Small metal plates, you mean? I believe that would be the metalworking skill. And I'm just pulling them back because I got a horde here and a horde there. I would rather fight just the three of them. And that's partly because the character I'm using is what I refer to as a zero to hero build. This is not a build I recommend. It is not a build I recommend to people who are new to the game. It's not a build I recommend to people who are advanced. It's objectively not a good build. When I start the game, I start with 0 fitness, 0 strength, 0 skills of any kind. It is not a good build. That said, it is fun to be able to watch your character slowly develop from effectively nothing and eventually become actually good. That said, again, I don't recommend it because, let's be honest, most characters won't survive long enough for that to matter, no matter how good you are. But it's fun to me. Because, like, right now, this is our skill set we've got. Don't mind all the sneaking and knife-footed. We had a very rough start. But all of these points have been earned. Not, you know, I don't think any of them came from the TV. I could be wrong. I could have gotten 1 point of cooking maybe through TV. But everything else we have earned through combat. Alright. More like Twitch streamer to someone who actually goes to the gym on a regular basis playthrough. That's harsh. I shouldn't say that. I actually do not recommend sneaking around. Generally speaking, the strategies people have is one is to sneak and to try and avoid the fights of the zombies. I actually do not recommend that. And the reason I don't recommend that is, okay, imagine I was sneaking along this road, I've got hordes all over the place, but I'm maneuvering my way through them, it's going fine, and I get halfway up the road and, oh no, I've accidentally aggroed a horde. Now I'm trying to get away from the horde, and I've got stuff all around me, the horde's making all sorts of noise, so all those zombies I skipped are now piling in. You get where this is going. the moment you do aggro, and it's going to happen, you're now in the middle of all the zombies. Whereas, if I kill the zombies, now I know generally behind me, other than apparently these two who want to just prove me wrong because they're jerks, generally behind me is safe. Safe-ish. And this does happen, which is the reason why whenever I say you want a safe route, it's in quotes. It's safe-ish, maybe. And the reason I'm disassembling every single watch I see is I have read the electrical book, so I do want to get the electrical skill. You need that for hot wiring stuff and, you know, generally just skill up. But it's also one of the reasons why I do try and clear a number of zombies around the path I'm taking, not just the ones immediately on it. Same deal. I want to have a generally safe way I can back out. Because that way if I do pull like a group of 30 zombies that I have to fight, I have, you know, I have a way I can go to mostly, like, I know if I'm going back, I shouldn't aggro too many zombies. Like, maybe a horde has moved into the path, but that's probably about the most I can expect. Where if I haven't cleared an area, you never know what you're going to back up into and draw into the fight, and it's when you, like, go from one horde to another horde to another horde that you end up in lots of trouble. And I'm going to say, once again, you know, hats off to Ziggy, and thank you so much. Like, I tossed him a raid the other day. You know, it wasn't even, like, a big raid. It's just, oh, like, Ziggy's on when I'm getting off, which usually doesn't happen. It's like, I have watched his content forever. I would love to show some support that way. And so it wasn't a particularly large raid, and he's raided me a good couple times now, and I really do appreciate it. It means the world, especially because I'm basically on my push to try and hit partner. So obviously, trying to hit the 75 average viewers, having 300 people suddenly jump into the channel really helps. Hey, Budcats, how's it going? The Great Raid Wars of Rawl versus Ziggy. I hate to break it, I feel like that's a one-sided war, and Ziggy's winning. Like, I'm not showing up at the plate compared to Ziggy's numbers. For me, when I pull a stream of 200, that is a really good day. Versus Ziggy dropping in with 500. That'd be nice someday. I mean, if I get an audience of 500, that is the point where I go, all right, I guess I'm a full-time streamer now. And I forgot to switch weapons again. Okay, the 1 year pain challenge. What is the 1 year pain challenge? Because I've completed the really CDDA challenge. I've got this challenge where we're just an obnoxious number of zombies, and I'm also doing on top of it the obese week unfit start. Okay, if you go to do a Reddit link, let me know before you post it, because I have to permit links, otherwise the bot will swat you. So just let me know when you're ready, and I'll give you a permit on the challenge. And for that matter, actually, if you could... If when Budcats does link that, if someone could actually drop that in the Discord's... Project Zomboid channel. That way I can also check it after stream. And normally I'd fast forward, but we got a lot of zombies real close, so I really don't want to. Just because I'll lose track of it during stream otherwise. Chat just moves too fast. Because that is, I am a sucker for taking on random challenges in Project Zomboid. It's what keeps the game so interesting, is doing stuff like, alright, doing a def run. Actually, you know, one of these days I need to revisit Def Run. Part of me is scared I'll be like 6 months into Def Run and I will just miss sound effects way too much. Not from the survival aspect, from having noise aspect. Versus just silence and music. And then the inventory open-close sound, which for some reason the def trait does not mute, but it does mute the banjos you hear when you level. I don't know why. And even though I take just about every weapon I can, I will never pick up a stake. Like, they're not even worth the carry weight. Like, I will pick up butter knives and that before I pick up stakes, which is probably not fair. I am not a fan of the stake for whatever reason. It's like they have the durability of garbage and then they don't do enough damage to justify it. Now granted, to be fair, so does butter knives, but you know. Okay. And I am getting worried that we're going to have this helicopter any day now. And I'm definitely not in a good position for it. Alright, let's kill this group. Now we've softened them up, let's finish them off. So with that first objective is to get into Ekron on the to-do list. Ekron is there. We're here, and our home where we're coming from is down there. So we're a bit over halfway now. But I am expecting this helicopter, and depending on how I play the helicopter, really make my life easier or harder. I'm waiting for the 1 year pain challenge, just be like, set it to after 1 year, hits the absolute max zombie pop, and be like, well, we're already there. Though I could see with respawns where it'd be much, much harder. But if it's just survive to it, it's, you get yourself set up in the middle of the woods, and then winning, you know, quote unquote winning the challenge wouldn't be that bad. Unless there's rules. Yeah, Reddit can be very distracting. What do you have stuck in you? Is that a machete or is that a bread knife teasing me? Because that one I'm not sure about, which means it's probably a bread knife. Because that's usually how that works. Anything that looks good is probably a bread knife. Oh hey, is that nimble too? Excellent. For those not aware, nimble is effectively your low-key best stat in the game for surviving a fight. It's how fast you move while you're in combat states. When it gets high enough, you can get away with shenanigans you shouldn't be able to get away with. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get that permit on you. Alright, you're good to post. And like I said, if someone who is in the Discord could do me a favor and drop that in the Project Zomboid channel so I can actually give it a proper read-over post-stream, I would much appreciate that. Because I usually don't pull open links too much during stream, just because, you know, get into that rabbit hole. It's not very entertaining to watch people sit there. Give me the scissors. Not entertaining to watch people be distracted by Reddit. But, so if someone could actually give me the gist of what the, like, not the details if it's really involved, but, like, just the... Give me the Sky's Eye pitch. Like, what is the thing that it makes me do? Like, 1 year, restricted weapons, like... Super high zombie pops, like what's happening? Because like I can go through all the details of the rules later, but just trying to get an idea of what we're talking about, because I can't read the whole thing during stream. Okay, it does look like Rumshackle took care of posting the link in the Discord, so that way I could give it a proper read-over after stream. So thank you so much for that, Rumshackle. Alright, they're getting dangerously close. And we're about to get tired. I'm going to go... I shouldn't. We're going to have the helicopter every time we go back up. Alright. So I'm curious. So you're saying it's hard to do in a sense like it's the very beginning. So that sounds like the really CDDA kind of challenge. Where, for those who aren't familiar with the really CDDA challenge, it is a challenge built into Project Zomboid you can do. Where you start Project Zomboid, your character has a piece of glass lodged in their groin. So they're bleeding out from a deep wound. They are completely, like... absolutely drunk off their butt. They're soaking wet. They're naked. Their house is on fire. They've got an absolutely terrible cold, which for those not familiar with how that works in Project Zomboid means they're coughing and sneezing, which is the equivalent of yelling every few seconds. And it's in the middle of the winter. The loot is set to extremely rare. Know that. I have actually successfully completed the really CDDA. In the sense that I have survived through the entire winter to the summer, got fully stabilized, where I had a farm going and everything, where we could have lived indefinitely. And that character is still alive. I just stopped playing that character because, like, okay, well, we did the hard part, now it's just doing really rare loot. And it was a lot of fun. That was one of the more fun challenges. We had, like that's one of those ones, go in with the expectation of, like, 20 plus false starts before you get one going, just because RNG can ruin you sometimes. Thank you for the follow, Budcats1. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you mean CDDA, the actual game? No, I have actually not looked it up in any capacity. Like, I am familiar that it was, like, this Project Zomboid is heavily inspired by it, but I actually don't know much about it other than it's apparently really, really vicious in the start. Hence the inspiration for the really CDDA challenge. Oh, that's not what you like to see. I don't want hordes by my house. But this is why we backed out before we were full on drowsy and everything. Because when you're on these populations, you're gonna get small groups like this that'll pop up here and there and be, you know, on your way home. So you always want to keep just enough juice in the tank, so to speak, to be able to deal with it. Because as you can see from the decayed bodies here, you don't really run into too many more zombies back here anymore compared to what we're fighting. And that's because we killed them all. And a dead zombie is not a zombie I ever have to worry about again. And the moment they're side by side, back off until you can get them lined up again. Because otherwise they hit one, and then the other one just overtakes you, and then that's that. You get hurt, and you either live or you die after that. You must move town every 4 months at least. Okay. What are the, like, super high pop? What are we talking as the population situation? Because, I mean, we're probably already going to do that in this character, even though we don't have to, because we're going to kill zombies. And, you know, I gotta go where them zombies are. Oh, insane pop? No problem. I've done 4x plenty. Do you have it set where if you get hurt, you live or die right there on the spot? No. I actually am someone who, what I usually will tell people is I recommend not doing that setting. And the reason for it that I'll give is that when you know you have nothing left to lose, you're already dead, you are freed to be as reckless as possible. And that's where I tend to find you'll end up learning how to fight big hordes and all that. Is when you're like, well, I don't care. I'm just going to try and fight 50 zombies. Let's go. So there's a good chance to learn. But yeah, non-insane pop's no problem. We've done that plenty on stream. For the record, to give you an idea of what we're talking, so insane pop is 4 times population. Right now we're at 16 times population, which is the absolute maximum the game allows. Without mods, that is. Zombies open doors and windows. That is a... That one's rough early on. I'll agree to that. But usually my strategy is kill all the zombies anyways. So that shouldn't be too awful. That can just screw you once in a while. But that just means you got to put at least one board over your window or door before you go. Well, one board over your window and lock the door. Which the trick being there, find keys. All right. I think we're good on our supplies. We've got that. I've got 5 potatoes on us. Let's grab another potato just because. Is there any other things I need to worry about? The peas are going stale, so let's just grab those now. Because we'll focus on eating the peas, because those will probably go bad soon. And now we sleep.